that you got to rely on.
Dirty and Dave, do not
Nah,
say
I can
anything.
get. I
Y'all
used to
better
get.
not say
Man, you get you 3 good ones, boy. You better pay them right.
Like I
Look.
said, they're gonna be old niggas, but the chain
No,
is
I'm talking about
broken.
young dudes. At
The
most,
chain,
you can get a crew of 2 or 3.
Yo, check this
either
out.
way, I think we can all agree that it's a minimal at best.
Yeah. It's minimal.
All right,
Yeah,
so check this out. So y'all do know in the olden days, you know what I'm saying, when masculinity was top shelf and niggas actually ran shit. Shut up, Dirty. Let me speak. Let me cook. Let me cook. Look, man was
no
actually
aggressive
your
grumbling.
last name. So your last name is giving you all the seed of your father, and your last name is basically telling you what your profession was gonna be back in the day. See, you the seed of your father. You're known by your father's name, so you was gonna be a smith. So you're gonna be a blacksmith. Your father's gonna train you in a blacksmith profession. You was gonna be a well skilled blacksmith without no apprenticeship, without any other circle jerking fraternity. You gotta pay your dues type of no. You gotta own your own skill. And you might be the only person. I was about to curse. Sorry about that. The only person in that town with that set of skills. So you will be the man. So ergo, fast forward into modernity. You have Negroes and even white dudes, you know what I'm saying? We got to throw Brad and Chad in there. They ain't really building nothing no more. I mean, they conquered everything, but they ain't really building ish no more. So these
screw in a couple of screws and then shoot some meth in.
Yo, so check this out. So unfortunately, I gotta go a generation ahead. I gotta go with the civil rights generation because them dudes weren't working. They was too busy going sending the counters and throwing up signs somehow we gonna overcome and all that good stuff. And the white dudes throwing rocks on them or sitting right next to them and all that other bull crap. So these men lost their balls, lost their profession. So they all want to be white collar workers because that's where the money is at. They only going where the money is at, not where the skill is at.
No, prestige. Where the prestige is at. But continue.
So the actual skills that we need in this country right now, because typing away in a little cubicle is not building this nation. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to computerize everything. Y'all want the technological advance of society of 2040. You know, with flying cars and all this other stuff, with people in a population with IQ is not even 100. You need people in a society of 120 to live in that type of world. Unfortunately, we don't. So these people, these men that we call boomers, civil rights generation, all that good stuff, they traded in their masculinity, their skills through their sons, Gen X and millennials under the bus, and want to teach them skills. You know what I'm saying? Some of us had to go and learn on our own. And we mess things up, nigga rigging, crackhead rigging, and stuff like that. You see the alley mechanics in the back of the alleys. You know,
I miss alley mechanics. But yeah.
Do you want to, Mr. O?
Yeah.
Do you want to know something funny? I'm in the trades, right? And people, here's the funny thing: people that are telling me they're using AI to do most of their job, they're like, AI is going to take over your job.
It ain't taking over construction.
You know what's right, right? But it's funny because
physical labor.
But it's funny because they're telling me they're using AI to do most of their job. And they don't even see the irony in that.
That's the weirdest part.
American man.
No, you know the weirdest thing, and I'm gonna piggyback because Mr. O, he was weak in the beginning, but he ended strong. I'm gonna roll with that. You know the weirdest thing about that, bro, is that it's really it used to be a time in which you pass down your craft, right? Yeah. That link broke with the boomers. Like I grew up with a dad, and all my friends had dads. Right?
I want to say the silent generation.
No. I didn't forget. I didn't forget. Okay. I'm telling you, it's a reason that Gen X and older millennials are called the latchkey generation. Yeah. It's not that your dad wasn't there. Yeah. It's the fact that your mom got to choose her own man, and they always want a man weaker than them.
I'm gonna say one little thing. I was in an after school program at one point in my life, in my childhood, and we were literally called the Latchkey Kids. That's what they named the group.
Right, because and that's all races too.
Hell no, they put Hood in detention and call.
No, bro, you dead ass. All this we need after school programs and we need mentors to step up is really because the boomers were horrible parents. My great grandfather drove for a living. He drove cabs. My grandfather was one of the first union truck drivers. My grandfather got my dad driving trucks. I had to steal my parents' car at night to learn how to teach myself how to drive. The only thing your nigga ass know how to do is drive, and you ain't teach your son. My friend across the street, dad was a mechanic. His dad was a mechanic. My nigga had to rob fucking fast food joints. He can't even fix, well, he do basic, but he don't know how to fix a car. His dad had a horse in the backyard, dropping engines in the backyard, and then teach his son nothing. There is a hatred of black men that came from boomers. And the craziest thing, I'm gonna just say this real quick. The craziest thing is I've heard my father say, I don't want nigger business, but I'm like, you're a nigger. Like,
right.
The amount of black men that I know that do the work. And my dad, I tried to do a property management with my dad, and my dad would try to fire my crew because I had a crew of childhood friends who were scared to bring in white boys, and the white boys' whole team was heroin addict niggas. I said, bro, you are out your mind, undercutting everything.
You sure that without one of them has small hat?
Bro, I watched my female neighbor, and this I'm co-signing you on this. My female neighbor, I had been cutting her grass since I was a small child because my dad was like, you want the whole neighborhood to look nice. Cut the girl next door. Man, set me up, man. Free labor, right? I tell
he set you up. He set you out.
Man, like a pimp. Look, so I tell Shorty, I say, look. But I ain't really care because y'all wasn't that big, and it was connected to mine. So he was like, "Yo, cut the connecting thing. Don't." Because I was like doing half the. You know how Chicago is. How your grass is connected to 2 different yards, and I would just cut my half. He was like, "Man, cut the whole thing, make it look neat."
Right, like, just go ahead down the straight line, catch stairs on the turnaround.
Right, catch it. Right. So I tell her, I say, "Well, look, I'm about to bounce out of town, but I got these shorties. They'll cut your grass, man, for $5 a week. They just need some money." She said, "I ain't gonna pay for it. I'll get some Mexicans." I said, "Hold on, I've been cutting your grass for free since I was a teenager. Since I was not even teen, like 11 years old. Nigga, now I'm 22. I'm like, yo, shorty, let the shorties take it. Oh, I get some Mexicans." Right. The hatred of black men. Here's the thing.
I mean, everybody's. Wait, hold on. Let me jump in there, Dirty. Let me jump in there. You got to pass the mic. Hold on. We got to pass the mic. I wanted to say this. I wanted to say one quick thing. This whole thing that you were talking about, that we were just kind of talking about, it reminds me of the W.E.B. Du Bois Booker T. Washington debate about which way, whatever his gay name is. It reminds me of their debate in terms of like what's the better path for black people. And I think what doesn't really get talked about was the Booker T. Washington path was just the obviously more masculine centered path, whereas like the Du Bois thing, going into the politics and all that office life stuff is inherently feminine just by its nature, right? And so I think that has its own like effects as well. But anyway, we got other people on the panel. Bumpkin, what's going on, bro? You still here?
JD Vance, what do you say? Man, we gotta hear from JD.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Dirty is right. Real quick. I'm sorry. Let me just jump in real quick. Hood, remember when we were over there with BGS, the second, not the original, right? Do you remember when we were talking about the boy crisis, and what was it that BGS came up and said? He said, "Man,
I know he said something crazy.
F black men."
Yeah, man.
You remember what he said?
Yeah.
And so Dirty is right. That is the feeling of the
he a boomer too, right? BGS a boomer.
Yes.
I guess so. And you see that this is why I just I don't engage in certain things anymore. I just there's no value there.
We see that.
Well, no. I agree, but I was just sort of bringing that up to say, like, Dirty is right.
No, you're right.
Is that they have a hatred of black men for some reason.
Bro, I have been fighting black boomers.
Well, hold on. I don't want to step on I don't want to step on the mic because I was trying to
Bucket, rock out.
You know what's going to happen in the crazy. You know.
That's crazy.
JD Vance, how'd that happen? Well, that's a story for another time. But anyway.
That's crazy work.
Bumpkin, please come before all the blacks start talking.
Yeah, I look like JD Vance. Sorry, I'm actually driving to work right now. Unlike other people on the panel, white man's all
Wow.
Oh, shut up! I wake up earlier than most white people, and I go to work. Don't white card me now.
Bunky shooting. Bunky shooting. Go ahead, Bunky.
Izzy driving and shooting too. That's very black of you.
Hey, I know. Well, he a sheriff. That's really white of him. But
we need to.
Yeah, your audio is shit. Man. Do you live in the sticks or something? Are you driving through the swamp right now?
Yeah, call right back in.
Yeah, drop down, Bumpkin, come right back up.
Bunkin talking on Bluetooth through the car, driving with one hand, shooting possums with the other hand. Bunkin is doing the same right now.
Call back when you hit a neighborhood with more than 3 white people in it, because you are just in the middle of nowhere. It's like cows and shit. I can tell you're driving around farm country.
1 bar. Try to get 1 bar.
Calling on a CB is wild. That's crazy work, but it sounds accurate. I'll allow it.
That's what he should do. If he called me on a CB, it would have a better signal than this bullshit.
Nah, the CB should have Wi-Fi on it. They upgraded.
Yeah. Hey, get a next.
Oh, that's dope.
So like the next cell phone, that's crazy work. All right, Nextel came up. All right.
Oh yeah, because Nextel was basically a CB. They just didn't have like an open network like CBs would have, like open channels. But anyway, Bumpkin, come back when you got a little bit, when you see tall buildings and shit. We got who Dominican. I feel like I haven't spoken to Dominican in a while. What's going on, man? You there still? Calling Dominican.
Yeah, I'm here. I was, staying patient, letting everybody talk. The first thing I'm gonna say is this, man. We need to deport all those motherfuckers in LA waving fucking Mexican flags. The only flag I want to see being waved is an American flag. If you can't come to this country, right, and then benefit from
clean, please.
What was that?
I said, try to keep the language clean, please. I want to keep this up as long as possible.
The new channel, my bad. So how do you come to this country, right, and expect us Americans, right, to pay taxes, to provide benefits for you, and you don't have the decency to wave the American flag? Like, what the fuck is that? I mean, what the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? And mind you, I'm Hispanic. I'm Hispanic myself. I'm Hispanic myself, bro. And I would not allow anybody in my family to come out here and talk about, Dominican Republic first. Nah, hell no. If you're here for a purpose.
It's so funny. I think Puerto Rican Day was just like yesterday because I was in the city the other day and I'm like, damn, there's a lot of Puerto Rican flags on the train. I swear that's the only reason I even think it might have been Puerto Rican Day. I'm not sure, but I swear it had to be Puerto Rican Day in the city the other day. And that's like the only time you really even see like a bunch of Puerto Rican flags out all over the place. And it's not even like well, honestly, Puerto Rico is technically America, so they don't even matter.
They're American.
Their flag is effectively a state flag. Like, it don't even mean that.
Right. How many Puerto Ricans speak Spanish, huh? You from Brooklyn, bro. I'm from the Bronx.
That's the thing. A good half of them don't.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you know what I love about Puerto Ricans, bro? This is what I love about Puerto Ricans, and this is what I hate about colors. Just because you black don't mean you American, right? I don't even like them Nigerians. They all scammers and all that. Call a Puerto Rican a Mexican. Man, they gonna tear the roof up.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, call a Mexican a Guatemalan. Call a Mexican a Guatemalan. The same thing gonna happen.
Call a Chinaman a Jap and see what happens.
Yeah.
Call a Dominican a Puerto Rican. It's all the same thing.
It's different because China and Japan got blood beef, but Latino nationalities, they just dislike one another for some reason. I don't know why. It's not like y'all fought a bunch of wars against each other.
I think it's a soccer competition. Every Hispanic country think they better than the other.
It's a
right. It's like national chauvinism.
But this is the crazy thing about that. The same dislike that Mexicans and Puerto Ricans share, or that Japanese and Koreans share. Like, we're both Asian, but I don't like you. It's a one-sided fight with Black Americans and Africans, because Africans don't deal with American blacks. They don't even like you.
But also, here's the thing, right? Call an American black a Haitian and see what happens.
Nothing gonna happen because nobody look.
I mean, yes and no. There is a sentiment there, though.
Yeah, I don't think like.
No, call it Jamaican
young. I remember being young and stuff like African booty scratcher was like a slur or whatever.
Hey, have y'all ever sat and thought?
Call it Jamaican or Haitian. It's going.
I think the Haitians had the worst 1 year span on the planet Earth. You got to remember, it started off with Trump saying dogs and cats.
No, it started off with them eating dogs and cats.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
We're dying,
right? Eat some things.
So now they're on the travel ban and deport list.
I've spent my entire life avoiding dating Haitian women, bro.
Bro, the leader of the Haitian gang's name is Barbecue, and it's not because he likes to do Kansas City style, bro. My man was eating humans.
No, you know what's crazy about that, bro? Barbecue is actually a cop. So their gang leader is a cop. Is he from Chicago? That's crazy.
Man, it sounds like it, man.
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
you know, there's a white guy on X on Twitter I follow, Lord Rothschild. He was like captured by the Taliban, low key. I think he was really just chilling. He's like one of these he's like literally the most interesting man in the world, right? And he is like, he's joking, half joking, but he said, listen, all the white adventure bros got to get together. We're going to take Haiti. A couple hundred white guys, they can take Haiti, no problem.
I want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Shit, wait till they see that machete chop, boy. They going to be like, whoa.
Red Illusion said he signed up for it, see? All the right-wing white guys, they know what I'm talking about. They're gonna take Haiti one of these days, and I'm not gonna say a word.
Hey, Red Illusion, man, give me an application, bro. I've been trying to join the clan for a minute. Nobody like initiate me. I think it's like the Mesa. Somebody gonna bring you in. I've been trying to be a Klansman for a minute, man. I want to be that one dude at the barbecue looking at y'all crazy while they burning other dudes on the cross. I want that to be me for our generation.
Man, let me find out you won't be the right-hand man to the Grand Wizard and shit.
Bro, I swear to God I do, bro. Because I know they'll treat me better than my black sisters and black cousins do. I bet you they do.
Oh, my God. Damn, man. Oh, man.
Yo, it's funny, though. I'm not going to say it dirty because I feel like you guys think I always attack you, so I'm just going to be quiet. but there's so much I can say right there.
Bro. I look, man.
Hell no, they did a Rocky Apollo.
hey, dun. Yeah.
Yo, haven't I been making this argument for a long time? Because, like, if you really go back, and we were talking about blood and soil and stuff yesterday, but if you really go back, whose blood is really in the soil of America?
There's only two people, bro. That's
what I'm trying to tell you.
Yo, that's why I keep making.
Hey, where they get this picture from? Did they get it from Predator with Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes, sir.
Yo, Hood. That's why
he passed away recently, I think.
That's why I keep making the argument. I don't get why black people keep trying to refer to themselves as African American. You're othering yourself. You're American. All those people.
Hey, Dirty, all those
people. All those people that came off the boat, whether you a slave or slave master, from then on, none of those people is known as the Americans that came from Christopher.
Hey, I'm African American, so we all get to vote.
Like
we all vote,
known as that.
New name, whatever that new name is. I'm right.
Black people in America.
With the logo, but I'm
only
with you.
Black people.
One at a time. Hey, hold on. One at a time. American man, please. You were saying something.
Yeah, only black people in America are labeled with the others. No one else is labeled with the others.
Even better than that, bro.
I don't understand why black people do that to themselves.
No, because he's actually on the payroll.
Yeah, I can explain. Go ahead, dirty folks.
Yeah, here's the crazy thing.
I can explain as well, but I'm just saying.
I mean, every 20 years they rebrand.
The average
right?
black person should know better.
No, I'm supporting Dave. I'm supporting what Dave said. Dave said he gonna go with whatever rebrand they give. So y'all gotta help me rebrand slavery, because Dave gonna be a slave, but we gonna make it sound really like cool. Yeah, but you're not gonna call it slavery though, because you're gonna go with any brand, anything they call it.
Whatever this name is, everybody gotta vote on it. Whatever the majority.
Nobody voted voted on being African
I think you're
American.
shooting too high, though. Maybe that's the problem with the rebrand, where we're selling the wrong product in the wrong market. Right now, the thing that needs to be sold is this image on the screen. And so, like, what American Man is asking, like, what happened? And the thing is, we've been kind of given the Marxist version, the Howard Zinn Marxism version of Black American history. And that's not to say that, there wasn't a Rosewood or there wasn't a Tulsa, but what if I told you that the first rounds fired in Tulsa came from Black people? What if I were to tell you that not every Black person just got their ass whipped and took it like a man? What if I were to tell you that I come from killers and gangsters and none of my people were going to let no white man do nothing to them without getting some blood on the floor? And so this whole era of we just been victims our whole lives, I reject that Black history, bro. No, I don't come from victims.
And what if I told you, Hood, they were all still considered American?
Hey, Hood. Hey, real quick. I appreciate you letting me up. So look, I fuck with Op Nation. So on the panel about this past week, he went through reading a list of all the lynches that happened between the years of 1890 and like 1907.
All the lynchings. Was it color restricted or all the lynchings?
Man, it went from the white on black to the black on black. And at one point, there was only one point when I was like, oh wow, these white people might be doing a little too much. But most times this is what it was for. Most times it was for killing a sheriff. Other times it was for molesting a white girl. Other times it was for raping 3 other people. Other times it was just multiple things. And then another thing that tripped me out.
A lot of niggas deserved it.
No. And look, and there was, it was white. There was like white on white, white on black, but then there was a lot of black on black. And another thing that tripped me out is that
about lynching, bro, that was just the punishment of the time. Lynching wasn't.
I know because
they made it up just for niggas.
You think of lynching, you think somebody hanging on a tree. No, lynching just means mob. It just means killed by the mob justice. Yeah, so they'll throw them in a burning building.
There isn't any wrong way to lynch, right?
Hey, but look, a couple ways. This was what really tripped me out because the Black people, for the most part, the Black people lynching the other Black people, it was for the same thing the white people were lynching them for. It's like people, and I'm talking about these people will show up to the jail 500 deep. And then the sheriff is still trying to hold order. So a couple times he would get shot. But one thing that tripped me out that the Black people would lynch other Black people for was for voting Democrat.
Yes.
They would find out that he voted Democrat and they would show up and they would lynch him.
Bro,
well, because the Democrats was the slave owners at that time when that was happening. So it's like,
does that mean that they're
running with the odds?
They're asking for the white people to come back.
Right. That is absolutely. You got a point. You know what's crazy? No, you know what's crazy about that, bro. And I'm not gonna get into the lynching part because a lot of it was either economic because they didn't want you to have a Black business, but most because girls. Most lynches because something happened to a girl, and I don't condone that. But the crazy thing, going back to what Hood said, and I said this before on shows, the silent generation, except for the ones that was marching, most men didn't march. Most men didn't want civil rights because they were gangsters. They were shooting at white people that can't get. It was the get off my porch generation, stay off my lawn generation. That's right. Just stay off my lawn. Don't come here. Right. We saw a video. I think Hood played the video the other day with a rancher that was telling the marshals, like, yo, if you ain't got no warrant, we gonna air it out. That's a stay off my lawn energy. And that's American, right? Yeah. Now you have a bunch of, my dad being one of them. My dad being a boomer, but he grew up. Right, he grew up. See, think about it. Boomers were born in 1940. The civil rights started in 1950. They were not the civil rights generation. They just grew up in it. So their image of being strong was getting beat up and bit by dogs. If you got bit by dogs and went to jail, you won the fight morally. I don't care about moral wins, Pop. They trying to take my Jordans. I'm swinging.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So you
right,
have
but
that.
those are two different mindsets, right?
Right. So you have. I got to go to Granddad. Like Granddad got 120 guns in the gun case. He teaching me how to shoot. You know, got my first black eye shooting a 22 rifle with a scope kickback, right? And then my dad like, yo, never use a gun. But my granddad got 120 guns. like so it's the
You know what
dynamic
happened with boomers? The
Go ahead.
guys who allegedly saved the world, because you know we're kind of rethinking the whole history of World War II. But the guys who allegedly saved the world back then, they raised their children to be pussies and pacifists.
That's right.
Well, they didn't raise their kids at all. That's why you latchkey kids. But I'm with you in theory. In theory, because go ahead.
Yo, my mother looks at me with her eyes glowing, and she's like, "I don't understand your black masculinity. I don't get it. You're a nationalist."
My mom doesn't get it either. Yeah.
Yo, you know the eyes, right? Like they look at you and they're like, I don't understand.
My mom will never.
Yeah, my mom doesn't have that energy. She's more resistant. She's a recalcitrant. It's a different type of conversation with us. I just have to laugh it off. Oh, you stupid. You be tripping.
Bro, my family thinks I'm the second coming.
Stupid as shit.
Yo, it's weird. She looked at me and she's like, I don't understand. Like, what do you mean you're a black nationalist? Why would you say that? I'm like, you don't get it? But you told me pro-black. Yo, that's the weird part of it all. Is that you told me pro-black. And then I'm like, yeah, black nationalism. They're like, what?
There's a problem with like female leadership over men. You'll give me instructions and I'll follow your instructions, and then you'll tell me I didn't do what you just told me to do.
That's why I lost respect for the Panthers. That's why I kind of halfway lost respect for Malcolm when he said the black woman is the most this man. That's why I was like, man, y'all messed it up the whole thing.
Yeah, he just triggered me, bro. That's some boomer
Malcolm,
shit. I'm triggered.
Malcolm's still alive. Malcolm would be.
He'll
retract
that. You know what? Here's the problem with Malcolm, right? That particular line. Because I saw the ballot in the bullet speech. I've seen the whole speech, bro.
Never gonna happen, bro.
The problem with that. The problem with the ballot or the bullet speech is they take that segment. That wasn't the whole line. That's like Jay-Z saying, you made it a hot line, I made it a hot song. Mm-hmm. I'm down with presidents to represent me. But there was more lyrics to the Nas song, right? When Malcolm said least respected, least protected, it was his come to death row speech, like come to the Nation of Islam. If you don't feel respected or protected, we got you. They cut that part out. They just leave you with least respected, least protected. And because of that, black men traded the man for being black and judged their masculinity on women.
That's right.
Well, even with that line, dirty folks, like you said, they leave out the unspoken part. There's a reality to that line. Even without getting into the actual context of the speech itself, Malcolm protects women of the NOI. So his protection is contractual. You can't just be out here all willy-nilly. Like, no, you got to fall in line, and then you deserve protection.
Hey, you got to come to death row.
Yo, one hit that was left out. Look, when y'all say that, and I keep going back to this part of the movie. Shout out to Denzel. Y'all remember the part when the chick that he was trying to talk to had a dude that was on drugs, and they told him, and years later she gonna be selling that thing. What was she doing when he was walking past in Harlem, being a Muslim and everything? The chick.
She was selling that thing. You know what I mean? But
he kept it pushing.
Yeah, he kept it moving. But you know. Yeah.
But they don't. But they cannot put two and two together though. They never put two and two together. Like he said, we was the most unprotected, but the chick that he was with, he walked right past her after she seen the white man. Yes.
Bumpkin, you about to say something?
Bumpkin back.
Hello, the white man's here. Hello, I got a good connection. What's up?
Oh,
you guys hear me good?
Bumpkin back in town.
He on CB, baby.
Let me find out you ain't gonna call Bill Gates, your other white homie, and get your internet up, man. Welcome, Bumpkin. Welcome.
Good. You're the only white guy on the panel right now. You gotta hold it down, Bumpkin.
Hey, let's go. Listen. There are only two racial groups in this nation that actually put blood, sweat into this goddamn nation, and the orcs have already went through the gate. I don't care.
You know, it's
they're
so
already
funny.
here.
I'm so used to black people being the orc metaphor, but I'm gonna run with you this time. I'm gonna run with you.
No, because black Americans, they have blood and soil to this nation, right? White Americans, we have blood and soil to this fucking nation. These orcs don't have blood and soil to this goddamn nation. They lost a war, and then they waited for liberals to create a goddamn bullshit immigration policy to flood the gates to try to retake their land. Fuck these people. I don't care.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Let's soften up the F-bombs. Yeah, come on, white man. You gotta lead the way. You teaching all the people how to be civilized. You gotta be civilized, white man.
Talk like you Scottish.
I forgot.
I agree with the white man. I agree with the white man.
I forgot you said no F-bombs. My bad.
I'm trying. We may or may not be, keeping a full monetization on the stream, but I'm trying to set a tone on the channel so we can go forward in strength.
You know the most disrespectful thing I heard a Mexican say, or whatever he was, Venezuelan, when he said, "Man, we trying to bring back pure communism."
Hold on,
and
Dirty,
I'm like, you only here because of capitalism.
Pure communism.
I would expect that from a Cuban, but not a Mexican.
Well, I mean, actually, no. Latin America in general is very left-leaning. So that idea that Latinos are naturally conservative because they're Catholic, don't fall for it.
Bumpkin, let me ask you a question. Do you actually have a problem with black male nationalism?
No. Why would I?
Wait, American man, when you say black male nationalism, do you mean black American male nationalism or black nation?
No.
Okay. I just need clarification. I needed clarification for my sake and for the panel.
I don't.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's no. See, hold on, everyone. This is what black men, American black men, need to understand. White men don't have a problem with your nationalism, right? Because they understand why you have it.
Well, hold on. Because most black nationalism is actually separatism, and that's why I had to ask you. It's not that I think you're like that, but I needed to actually make the line clear. Because most black nationalism is basically like, we want our own black state. We want our own black ethno state. And I'm like, I don't trust you niggas enough.
I don't trust niggas that trust niggas.
My black nationalism is I'm American, right?
That's Americanism.
Yeah, we're with you on that.
That's patriotism.
Right. You know what? That's why you're messing me up. That's just patriotism. You're calling it black nationalism, and it's making me think of other niggas. You're making me think of them niggas over there.
Hold on, it is, but here's the difference, right? And this is the reality that I'm gonna say. I will never have children with a white woman or a Hispanic woman. I will sleep with them, but I will never have children with them. I will only breed with a black woman. That's my.
I respect that.
I do not. I don't agree with it. I respect it. I don't agree with it.
No, it's logically consistent, but let him finish out. Let him finish out.
It's his dick, he has a code.
It's okay.
Right. That's why I said it's logically consistent. But yeah, go ahead. Finish your.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you about it.
Right. Just let me finish. Right. I have no problem with white people in America, right? Because I understand the history. But my nationalism, I only breed with black women.
But that's sexual preference, bro. That has.
No. There's
a depth to it.
You gotta understand it. You gotta understand it.
Let me speak to this for a minute, please. Right, in the same way that I do not begrudge white people, that like the idea that your white daughter is off dating some black guy and that makes you uncomfortable. You're not the bad guy. You're not a bad person. You're not evil white man.
Yes,
right. Because you have a right to not only a preference in the light, like in the abstract and the surface level, like as a petty concept, like you have a right to preference, right? But it's deeper than that. When they say like I want my grandchildren to look like me, there's a bloodline lineage argument. Like literally, like white folk can trace their genetics to a Scotland mountain or whatever, to a town in Germany or whatever. And I understand that type of lineage and wanting to maintain that unbroken chain from then till now. And then honestly, if Black Americans had that unbroken chain, we might actually be able to think like that. But our unbroken chain more or less goes back to the plantation. We start here.
What about the swirling chicks and they little chrome crusher that come from the white man?
They have no nationalism. They have no ethnic goals, so they just exist in the wind.
Also,
right?
They're just women, bro. They're just women.
Yeah, women aren't tribal, bro. Only men are tribal.
I get that, but no, can I call what's the name? I'm gonna pass the mic. So when they talk about my black behind going outside my community, putting my my dark belly gets these white bellies, these Asian bellies, right? I'm taking money out of the community, but for some reason, Keisha could go ahead and mess with Brad. Don't give her not even a crumb, but she ain't.
She's a girl. Do not quit. Y'all be killing me trying to give adult characteristics, bro, to women. Y'all give adult
the problem she doesn't count. Dirty. Yeah, she doesn't count, but legally, she's like a man. She's as equal as any other man. And so logically, she wouldn't count. Her whims and her goals wouldn't really mean as much because she would always be under the cover of some guy. But now they're effectively free. They're rogue males. Modern women are rogue males.
Rogue male. I totally agree with them.
And they make more money than sometimes than Brad and Chad. But guess what? He get the bag. He take the money out of the community.
No. I mean, ain't no community, so I'm not worried about that part.
No.
Who take? No. Here's the problem. Tyler. I don't look, man. You mentioning girls. I don't care what girls say with clothes on. The money out of the community argument is a political argument. It's not an argument on sexual preference or where you spend your money. Because if you spend your money in the hood, every hood has an Arab that owns all your local stores. That's a political argument of why your alderman doesn't let the people from their community make money in the community. Why they ban you from having businesses on your block, but give it to some Palestinian. That's a political argument. So even if you spend all your money at the gas station in your hood, you gave it to an Arab community. Don't worry about that part. Don't listen to girls with clothes on, bro. And don't listen to pro-blacks. They don't know shit. My argument is, even if you choose to be with a quote unquote black woman, she still isn't your woman. Like if Jamaican men. Man, Jamaican, you get a Jamaican girl. She your color. She not your woman. Different religion, different culinary preferences, all that. And I love jerk chicken, but
Sonny, like Dirty. I think you're on I think you're kind of you're scratching around the real or a realer issue, a more pertinent issue. I think we're discovering as the modern world, it's basically feminist government, right? Government exists to like support women being single and living apart from men. Therefore, modernity kills it's intentionally attacking the very concept of ethnicity. And so we can see it more pronounced with like white people, because technically white people are a global minority. And so they would be like more a little bit worried about, they would be like just more like mortally worried about the concept if you look at the global numbers of things and then how immigration is only being pushed in like European countries or Western white countries. But in reality, the problem persists for any human being.
That was an odd sentence break, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah,
I thought there was more. I thought there was more.
I was actually.
I don't know.
No, I was thinking too much about where I wanted to go next, but
ended the sentence on a comment. Said a period.
No, you're right. You're right, because I was trying to regain my train of thought. But the thing is, I was talking about liberalism and ethnicity, right? And so, how can the white man maintain his whiteness if the government owns his woman? How can the black man maintain his blackness if the government owns his woman? Like, it took me a minute, but that's why I was trying to snatch it back to that point.
If you look at the first episode where of All in the Family, right? Not All in the Family. All in the Family. Archie Bunker, right? Mm-hmm. You look at the first episode when they introduced Michael, who he called Meathead. Everybody knows Meathead, but when he introduced Michael, and he asked Rob Rittner. Anyway,
Reiner.
Reiner. Yeah, Reiner.
I be roasting him on X. You know what I'm saying? Me and
That's crazy work. That's crazy work that you roasting that man. He like 90. Anyway, so so the first episode when he was introduced, he asked Meathead. He said, "Yo, what are you?" He said, "American." Archie said, "No, no, 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 no. What are you?" He said, "White." He said, "No, no, 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 no. What are you?" He said, "Man, I'm a Pole. I'm Polish." And then Archie Bunker, who's a German, was like, "Oh, my daughter brought a Polak to my crib." That's the taking away from heritage, taking away from your national flag, right? And that's what
look,
women
real
do.
quick, dirty. Archie Bunker, and I say owned. It's a very crude, clumsy term, but as men, and I know Dirty especially gets what I'm talking about. But Archie Bunker owned his wife, and his wife was a part of the program. She had no issue with the concept because that's how it was forever. But he no longer owned his daughter because his daughter was a modern feminist woman. And that's really what started. That's the heart of that dynamic problem between Archie, his son-in-law, and his daughter.
Bro.
That's why they always have tension.
Edith,
hold on.
Yo, I hate to say a lot of men want a Edith, not physically. They wanted an Edith, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because look, no matter how many times that dude Archie was on his office rocker, this dude was going ham. Look, she stood right by him and got him his little beer, his food, and everything, and shut the F up.
No. That's not fair though, bro. That's not fair.
But wouldn't that show a failure on Archie Bunker's end that he didn't own his daughter in the end?
Yes and no, because the whole world had changed by then. So Archie, the whole point of the show was Archie was like the caveman living in modern times, and so his daughter was trying to explain the new world, and she had this new young liberal hippie husband, and they always clashed. Like that was the very point of the show.
Yes.
And so it wasn't just that Archie himself had failed; the world had moved on around him.
Right, and
it was like a reflection of the world.
And Edith, to be fair, it's not that every man wants to Edith. I mean, I'm not saying you don't. What I'm saying is Archie never mistreated Edith. He mistreated everybody else got that work. He never mistreated.
And if Edith let it know her feelings were hurt by Archie, he addressed it. He would make up to his wife, right? He was so frustrated because he loves his fucking people. And I'm cursing. He loved Edith because, like you said, it's not so much that everybody wants an Edith, but that type of bond between husband and wife, that's the idea of marriage that I think men are looking for. And it's not so much that I want to be the man just to abuse you, but if you let me know like something's wrong, like, all right, I'll fix it. Like, tell me what's wrong and I'll fix it for you because, you know, I actually do love you.
Ironically, then sadly, Struthers ended up being like a hippie for real and ended up becoming fat and then going over to Africa to be around black boys anyway.
She did. But
they were all hippies. They were all hippies.
Here's the thing.
I also want to point something out though, right? Because I find this happens a lot, right? And this is going to trigger some of you guys on the panel. You notice that when I pointed out that I'm a nationalist and only want to date black, everyone sort of gave me all these excuses. But yet, when everyone else says it, there's no excuses. Everyone just sort of goes with it. Right. The only person that
I don't think anybody gave you any pushback, really. Like,
I said, go for what you feel, bro.
Yeah. You willingly want to do it. That's what we were trying to give you pushback on.
My pushback is black is not a cultural norm. There's no religion of black. There's no black changes every 7 years when a new normal comes.
Bro, so honestly, I think when most people say black, especially in this country, because black means something else in another country, but we're talking about American black ethnicity. And I think there is a urge to want to maintain whatever it is people conceive of that as, because maybe I think something slightly different than the next person, but in a roundabout way, we're all talking about like the FBA, ADOS type of thing. Like there's an American black identity that I think people want to maintain in the face of all these other black identities.
Okay, here's where I disagree. I agree for men. I agree that men want to do that. Women in general, regardless.
I agree with that, Dirty. I agree with that.
Regardless of the women. Women are American. Women are globalists. They are not nationalists, right? Black women, all women hate their own men. Black women treat
all women do hate their own men.
Right. Familiarity breeds contempt, right?
It's
Yep.
crazy.
Black women treat black men like white women treat black men, but with worse customer service. So when you look at a white, I've heard white girls say that, like, I love sleeping with black guys, but when I get married, I'm gonna get a white guy because I don't know if black men are stable, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, you're
What?
right about that.
What?
Asian women do the same thing.
Right. We're a fetish, right? But everybody else is a fetish. Anything that don't look like you is a fetish, and everybody want to get their fetish off, and I'm cool with that. But the problem is they treat black men who their brothers, their fathers, their uncles like white women, like other women treat black men like a fetish. They sleep with every car cracker, every thug, every murderer, and
Yeah.
then when they want to settle down and treat somebody like a man, they can't see a man in the men that they grew up with because they don't like it. They don't
I
like it.
agree with you. I'll give you that. You're
So
correct.
I'm not going to be with somebody who is born and bred to disrespect me. I'm just not going to do it. I tried it. My grandmother told me, please, you're a smart kid. Please date a black
It'll
girl.
kill your
And I tried,
masculinity,
grandma.
bro.
I
It'll lower
tried.
your testosterone. It'll kill your masculinity. It'll
He
kill
So,
said,
everything, bro.
"I tried, Grandma. I
I,
tried."
So I
I
got a
tried.
question. Dirty. Are you admitting? So hold on. In that, right? I ask this. Are you admitting that every other man could be treated right except for black men? Because it starts to sound like that.
Yes, I am saying that. And you know
Yeah.
why? And you know why? Because black men listen to girls with clothes on. I'm
That's
not
right.
afraid.
That's
I'm
right.
I'm
That's
not a
right.
I'm not afraid to Al five my chick. I got to worry about the police, her brother, her daddy, her other side dude that's in her
Yep.
ear. So
Don't
No,
don't forget about the work husband.
it sounds harsh when we talk about we always somehow wind up back in this territory, but
I don't know. You know
it
what?
sounds harsh when we go this way. But here's the thing, though. I kind of come to the same conclusion. We all walk our own paths, and I wind up in a very similar place to Dirty Folks in that I realize the major issue with Black American culture, and especially if we're comparing it to, like, you want to have all the things that white people have, or maybe Asian people either way, the big difference between our social dynamic and theirs is that black men are at the bottom of the black social hierarchy. And black men are perfectly fine with that. And
they
so,
volunteer for it. They
right. And
volunteer for
so
things.
that social dynamic is
I'm
not
not
going to
wrong,
produce what the opposite social dynamic is going to produce. And
but I'm
there's an
not
And
wrong.
again,
unwillingness to accept that.
Hood, and it
Okay.
comes back to guys, and it comes back to when I said that's why my mother looks at me with these eyes and says, I don't understand what's happening here.
Boomer men do the same thing.
Yeah.
And
I
they
I
real.
don't understand it. What do you
It's not
mean
just
you're not
boomer men
okay
do the
being at
same
the
thing.
bottom?
Look, it's not
He-
just boomer men do the same thing. Dirty. When I go over to, like, the Freezy panel or to
Millennial men
the
too.
Sharon and
They all
listen,
have the eyes, right?
any panel, any black people, any
I've
black
been
man
watching
that's
you
not
panel.
express any black man that's not express red pill, they actually are basically boomers.
Oh, okay,
Hood.
I give you that. But Hood, here's the difference
Boomer.
between that.
Look, we gotta
No,
throw
no,
our generation in that, bro. Look,
no, no, no,
boomers,
no, no. I'm not saying
millennials.
that you're wrong. No, wait,
Go
guys,
ahead.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. Here's the difference.
What?
Do you give a damn about what your peer group says? Like, you respect your dad, you respect your uncles. You give a F what Freezy say? Like, they can't. Izzy can't move me. You know what I mean? That's why they made me the face of domestic violence,
Y'all
because you
actually listen
can't
to
move me.
Ron?
Do you know?
Y'all
Do you
actually
know?
listen
Well,
to
it's
him?
not even
Yo.
that. It's just that they're so prevalent. We are in the minority.
Right. They're the ones they're the one that earth you a wet chick, and that's the problem. So do I want to put my life on the line because she has color? No, I
Yo,
don't.
yo,
Listen,
Black
all
yo,
right,
brain
all
trust
right,
definitely
all right,
I'm gonna
live.
tell Hood something,
They
right?
haven't
When you
been
go,
live
all
in
right,
forever.
here's the thing,
all
right?
right,
Here's the
all
thing,
right, all
right?
Bumpkin,
right.
what's up? Yeah, bring us out of the gutter, white guy. What's going on, Bumpkin?
Let's
Well,
get back to
nah,
the
I'm gonna
politics.
I'm gonna stay in the gutter a little bit. Okay, here's the thing. All right, at least when it comes to white women, okay, white women they're hyper social creatures. Okay, that's why they're mainly in favor of globalism. But what really
That's
creates a
all
white liberal
women.
woman, right? What really creates a white liberal woman is from the get go, their fathers or their brothers or whatever are weak men. Okay.
I
And when
agree.
they're only surrounded by weak men, that is their interpretation of a man, right? Do you guys know how many white liberal women I have potentially dicked down? Right. I have literally been in a protest. on the opposite side. I have been at a protest on the opposite side. I saw that chick less than 5 hours ago screaming at my ass about how I'm a fascist, blah 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 blah. And then I am sitting at an Airbnb and I get hit up on a message on Tinder from that same chick.
But you know what?
I've kind of come up with a theory about women in politics. Most of women's political interests are actually sexual motivations. The majority of women's political it always boils like, listen, women's love of the immigrant, the women always are interested in some strange guy. The very concept of a strange guy makes
all
the
dark
nipples
and
hard.
handsome.
Like,
right.
Women's politics is really just sexual expression.
But they say they're not commodity. You know what's crazy about that, Bunkin? This is a true story. Don't judge me, guys. Don't judge me. In 2011, at the whatever year the Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup, right?
Hood.
No. Whatever year the Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup, I ended up hanging out with a promoter, right? And I was trying to sell my books. I got T-shirts and flyers and all that, right? So I'm trying.
Right, dirty.
I don't know what year they did. Man, I don't pay attention to hockey like that. I'm black. But check this out. So I wanted to be on national TV. I'm born to be primetime, right? So for the first year, WGN, because WGN is a cable station everywhere else in America, but Chicago was our regular channel, right? WGN was broadcasting the Pride Parade. And I'm like, yo, I wanna get banners and be in the Pride Parade so people buy my book. I did that, right? So I get there. The funniest thing, right? The irony of life, right? I get to the Pride Parade and there's so many gays, bro. I mean, it was an uncomfortable amount of men in speedos with angel wings on their back. It was wild.
It is the Pride Parade.
Right. So thank you. So, but I feel uncomfortable, right? I feel uncomfortable. So I text my boy. I text my boy. I say, "Yo, this some bullshit." He texts me back, "Nigga, you know where you was going." I was like, "You got me right." But here's where I get Bunkin his credit. So I'm on this float for technosexuals. I found out the technosexuals is the technical term for people that sleep with blow up dolls. I figured that's the safest float for me to be on. I'm on the technosexual float, right? And
you have the wildest side missions. This is a GTA side mission for real. You walked up to a random dude standing on a corner somewhere in GTA. He just started talking to you. Now you wind up on a technosexual float.
Is he CJ or is he Franklin? Which one?
Pride is a secret name for freak. That's what that means.
So this is story. This is so crazy. You can't make it up, right? So I end up on a technosexual float, right? And I'm walking on the side of it, right? And there's these 4 girls. I can't remember. They were Latin. I think it was like one or two white girls, and the other 2 were Latin. And I'm at the Pride Parade. Gay men have gaydar. Not one gay man hit on me the whole time. Not one. I swear to God. Not one man was like, "Oh, you look cute. You got pretty eyes." Not one man hit on me. Girls in the crowd was trying to grab me, like, "Oh my God, he's such a cute gay man. I can make him straight." They were trying to snatch me out the parade, bro, and do the whole, bro. I swear to God, women will sleep with anything, bro. Not just anyone, anything. Dildos, shower heads, vegetables. Women are weird, bro.
Yeah.
Let me hold on, bro. Women will do all of that regardless of Pride Parade, bro.
I know Atlanta full of girls trying to turn a gay man straight. I get it, but that's my point to Bunkin. Like, yo, I'm a New York fan. She's like, I'm a Cowboys fan. We mortal enemies. Yeah, you want some coochie? Like, that's women. And then after they destroy your life, they be like, he changed. Like, what?
As every divorce man.
I mean, you should. Here's the thing, right? You should. Here's the thing, Dirty. You should only allow one to destroy your life. You should only need one. You shouldn't have to go through 2 or 3.
And that is Proverbs, because you're right. Ain't no goddamn way.
No, here's the thing, American.
You right about that.
American man is right. He's right. He's right. Here's the problem with that, right? I watched my mom try to destroy my dad, like, black love, right? Charmer bond, right?
He said
So,
black
so at 15 years old, I realized two
No,
things.
black women trauma bond. Black men don't trauma bond.
If you
That's
love
black
black women, you
women.
No.
trauma
That's
bonded.
their
You
Yeah,
got
thing.
bit. No, you got bit emotional black men out there that feel like they got to go ahead and go through with and stand there with a black woman like
Nah,
TT,
bro.
man.
Black.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, listen. Then those are gay black men.
Bro, the
Listen,
amount of
I'm harsh.
look, the
I'm
amount of
harsh. I'm gonna
no,
be honest. I'm harsh, right? Those are gay black men.
no,
Straight
bro.
black
Those are no,
men.
no,
You
okay.
only go through your trauma bonding with one black woman, and then you realize, yeah, this is not gonna work. All this trauma bonding and
Here, okay.
bullshit.
Here,
You gotta go.
here's your I
You
only
say you're gonna be
procreate
with a
with
black woman, right?
exactly nigga. What? Thank
Yeah,
you,
your
Mr.
life.
O.
Yeah, this is an
So,
oxymoron. They are
so here's my thing, right? I knew at 15 years
How is
old.
it an oxymoron? Unless you guys are saying that every black woman trauma bonds.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
That's what we're saying.
God, I can't go. I can't go.
Even foreign. Look, you got somebody like Joy Reid. Joy Reid, first
Okay, take
generation.
the word black out of it. Most women do that.
Shut up, Mr. O. He laughing hard as hell.
I can't go.
Joy Reid, not even American. All she talk about is slavery.
I don't know if this is an American thing.
I'm telling you, Joy Reid, not even American, and all she talk about is slavery and Jim Crow. You weren't even here. Man. Like, this is what they do. I learned two things at 15 years old. Number one, that matriarchy is slavery. And number two, my whole goal in life was to do the opposite of what they say you're supposed to do. I'm like, I do not want to date a woman.
Slavery.
Right. I like my whole thing is I do not want to date a woman like my mother. I love my mother because she's my mother, but I wouldn't date my mother. Right. You know what I found out when I hit the dating market at the 900? They all like my mama. Different socioeconomic backgrounds, different education, but girls are girls.
Girls are girls.
No, that was an argument I was having at SKC. Like, yo, bro, he like, oh, you low level women. Nah, I fuck the senators, bro, and she act like a girl.
Dirty. You didn't realize they all act like your mama.
You supposed to be talking about
you realize?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know how, man. He be dragging this over, but he got some good.
I mean, when you start talking pro-black,
Dirty realized my mother is all of them. There's a difference.
What? Yeah, she's every woman. They all in her.
The idea, and I'm not just talking about Dirty's mother because I don't want no one to think that I'm like trying to call.
No, I ain't taking it like that.
But like Dirty realized, oh, my mother, she's these people.
No,
right? And I realized it too. I'm like, oh,
no, these people are my mother. Like,
no,
my mother older, bro. So these women are my mother. This is a true story. I watched because my mother older. My mother's an older,
bro.
No, like, Dirty got sisters, so he knows there was no escape.
Bro, I watched my cousin's daughter-in-law, stepdaughter. So, he married some single mother, right? 12 years old. I was confused. 12 years old. I watched this girl at my kitchen table clipping her nails, which is nasty in itself. But she's clipping her nails. Her nails was about 1 inch long. She's clipping her real nails to put on 1 inch press-on nails. I was so confused. I wanted to cuss her out, and I did. But at first, I had to understand. I said, "Why?" But I had to understand first, right? Like, don't be nasty. Don't be clipping your nails at the kitchen table. But before I even said that, I'm like, why are you cutting 1 inch nails to glue on 1 inch nails? Like, we ask women why you cut your eyebrows off to draw on eyebrows, that type of thing, right? And she's like, oh, you don't know nothing. Whoa. And I realized she's her mother, because her mother would do some dumb shit like that. These women are bred like that, bro. So when you say black, that's the culture, not the color. So you're looking, even when you look at trailer park white girls, you say she acting black. Because black is a culture, not a color.
I don't know. I have to be honest. I think that we're giving real black people a bad rap. Yeah. And we're just sort of linking them in with niggers.
No,
right?
No.
Well, hold on. I'm going hard.
American man is
American man. Would you believe that y'all might been misled and might not been informed that
no. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why I'm not informed? Because when I look at most of my family, we've all been enriched. We've all have great things, and I'm telling you that like there's not this weird like all of these just like dumb. Now, you know, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it to
No,
save
I think what you're
conservative
trying to
channel.
say is it's a socioeconomic thing, and that's where I agree with Dirty. The money,
the money don't matter.
The class.
Nah, I'm not going to do it to save
my
conservative channel.
Like, dog, all of them doctors,
right?
everything like
Because
that. I know about 7 courses.
Okay, wait. What's the name of the state rep down in Texas? Damn.
Crockett, my baby
Crockett? Yeah, Crockett. Crockett is a lawyer. She don't act like Keisha.
Do you know that Crockett is not from Texas?
I'm not talking about.
Hold on. No, pay attention, right? Pay attention. Crockett is not from Texas.
Well,
she's actually not from there. Crockett has been carried over there to make black women feel like there's something happening here, but she's not from there. She doesn't actually represent women from Texas.
I think
she represents black
women.
Stands,
though she's playing the black woman role pretty well. Like the whole
playing
very well, Oscar worthy,
right? But she's not from there.
It doesn't matter. I just said name a name, and I gave the designation of where she's from. She acts like every black woman, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I be outside.
Now,
it's all of the stock of
I think the problem. I think the problem we're having is just a simple language, except a piece of terminology. When you say every black woman, that is automatic assumption that there's never going to be a decent one. And statistically, that just can't be true either. Now, I'm not going to get into the numbers and how rare exceptions do not make the rule, but there will be exceptions. And I think maybe American Man, and this is what I struggle with. I don't want to limit myself to the exceptions, but I've already made 3 black children, so I'm out the game no matter what. I'm good.
Yeah,
I did my thing for the
good for you.
I'm global breeding now.
Yeah,
so
now listen, I was Johnny Appleseed. I did mine for the team.
I'm
so like what American Man is saying,
doing citizenships now, bro.
What American Man is saying, like I can understand it. Like I did mine for the cause. The ethnicity isn't going to get set back because I didn't reach my replacement level numbers.
You actually got
between me and my baby mama, we created another black person to replace each one of us and an extra one just to play it forward. I have done my part for the replacement level. That being said, I'm out the game though.
Here's the thing,
Jasmine. Well, my game has changed. My game is expanded.
Hold on.
To the world.
Hold on. Let me say this.
Hold on, Jasmine. Don't stop my quick campaign, dog. Can I make a quick campaign? Just in case,
you're fucking
somebody out there.
You're a liberal, dumb nigger male.
Globally. It's expanded globally.
Dave, you should die. You're a dumb nigger liberal male that should die. Most likely.
Wow.
Go on record and say
that was harsh, American Man.
That
was real harsh, American Man. Anyway, you was trying to clean up
diabetes.
Dave is a nigger male that should die.
Wait, I gotta calm down.
This is why we don't have the green.
Wait.
This is why we don't have the green dollar sign. I'm gonna blame it on American Man when it happens.
This is a monetized channel.
He just mad. He cock blocking mad that I'm finna go global.
No, you're just a dumb nigger male.
He's mad at
No, that's it.
I don't even know what we arguing about no more.
We arguing. It wasn't supposed to be no arguing. He mad at me campaigning.
Really?
Talking about riots.
Well, you shouldn't be doing that anyway, Dan. Get a hold of yourself. Get a hold of yourself, bro. Anyway, American Man, you were saying something.
Hating ass.
Here's the thing.
We do, but he does. But back to what I said, American Man. I have to tell y'all that the nigger population, since you brought it up, the nigger population has outpopulated the actual good black folks out there. So we are in idiocracy in the so-called community.
I don't think that's true, bro. I think that all the good black men just got white wives, bro. I think it's got white. I think they just got white wives, bro. No. I think they just have white wives.
I think it's at all.
Look, here's the thing, bro. You're making a argument based on result, but the result has a variable, right? So if you're a variable guy, right, you're a college educated
Right.
A man with options, right?
Right.
6'6" do, right?
Right.
And you have standards for your life. That's gonna discount like 80% of the pro black love in the first place, right?
Exactly.
Then you have to say, I don't own my children. Not only do I not own my woman, I don't own my children.
That is true.
So now if you put your foot down and she not an Edith that like, yo, I love Archie, now she'll take your kid and turn them either gay or a killer anyway.
Right.
So
you see, 10, 20 years ago, that type of knowledge wasn't really just being thrown around casually, though. That's kind of where it starts to become a slight generational thing. Like going forward, I bet you see less and less of that type of thing because what you just said will make more and more sense. But 30 years ago, when we were all young, nobody was thinking like that.
Nope. Yeah.
Because we had to figure it out on our own.
About guys like Dave. Is that Dave?
Hey man, don't be mad because I'm going to find me a foreign chick and start another family.
Right? He has no control of his own self. He's just he's the nigga that we look at and we're like, all right, you pathetic nigger. Like, just
that boy Becker man just wants to.
He just wants to kill him on the stage. I know, right?
Depressing ass.
He sound kind of racist. But
everybody be wanting to kill Dave. That's weird.
Yes.
I don't know why it happened.
Yes. Right.
Everybody wants to kill Dave. That's like a whole show unto itself. Everybody
he's trying to bring back He's trying to get some Jackson, Texas shit going.
It's wild, bro. Look, men like Dave need to go.
No, you're mad that I'm not on the plantation like what you just
I'm mad that you are.
You kind of are.
You are emasculated.
Bro,
right?
But nah, but you are kind of on the plantation. You just won't let me. But here's the thing, because I started to kill Dave.
Dave, you are emasculated. You think it's emasculated.
No. He a male feminist, but he think he's masculine. But here's the thing.
Bruh,
the problem. No. Here's the problem with.
Hunt it up right now. I bet you I
No. Here's the problem. Wait. I want to help. I want to help Dave out. I want to help Dave out though. This is a teachable moment for the people on, in the audience. The problem with saying you're gonna get a foreign woman just because, Dave. The problem is it accentuates how weak black men are. Because no, I tell no. Listen, wait. No. Wait. Let me finish. Let me finish. Because you're looking for another man to train your toddler correctly. That's what it is. Why do people want Asian women?
Citizenship.
You can get dual citizenship without getting a girl.
Get it. You know what? I'm gonna kill two arguments with one. I'm gonna kill two arguments with one sentence. Look, first of all, men. You just killed your own what's the name? What you just said. So if me going over there to what's the name? He already trained his toddler. Then he come over here, or then he go over to Africa and get my trained toddler and take her under his wing and brought us over here into slavery. Are you saying that, sir? That's one argument, but no, it's actually three. It's actually that was the first.
Can I?
That was the first.
Well, wait, real quick. I think. Hold on. Let me kind of streamline that whole thing. That's what it sounded like. I think the smoothest way to rebut that is to say that by the definition that Dirty is using, all Western men are weak, because it's not really the man. It's the whole state of affairs that weaken the men. At least that's how I look at it.
We can go with
right?
Throughout history,
but Hood,
in memorial, throughout.
Hold on, right? Let me tell you something.
I'm actually wrong.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you.
Hood is actually right though. Hood is actually right.
American man, and then Dirty Folks, and then I think that was McCoy. We gotta have some order, please.
I took a small hat woman to aisle 5, right? And her grandfather told her, "Oh, he took you to aisle 5? Oh, he really loves you."
Hey,
wow.
I don't think
that's the old world, bro.
That's the old world,
Archie Bunker world.
Yeah, that's the old world.
I don't think you guys realize, right? That's why I say you niggas, like a lot of you niggas are weak. Not all of you, right? I'm not implicating all of you, but a lot of you niggas are weak, right? Because here's the thing: her grandfather said, "Yo, he took you to aisle 5. Oh, he really loves you."
Bro, I'm with you. I'm with you on all angles. I don't disagree with you, right? Because my first thing is when girls come to me, I'm like, what did you do? Because he didn't ass whoopings don't fall out the sky. What did you do?
Right.
Right. So the argument of this, and you're right, Hood is absolutely right. The West world is weak. They make laws to protect the daughters that they put a key around and say, take care of yourself. But the rebuttal to they went to Africa or wherever and snatched your woman and trained her is he owned her. She was property.
No, we trained her first before he came.
No. Black men did not train her.
Property. That's a whole other thing, bro.
Yeah. Niggas don't understand. That's why I tell you, niggas don't understand. They don't understand nationalism. They don't understand any of it, bro.
They don't understand it. No, they don't. They don't understand
you guys are trying to
hold on. I want McCoy was trying to jump in there before because I know I tried a little order too. I want to get McCoy in here real quick. He has something to offer.
It's your order.
Yeah. My bad. My wife's making a little noise in the back. But look, what I was gonna say is, even though the Western men are kind of like pussies, one thing that America does have is we have like this right wing that is, the fascist, the alt right, because everywhere around the world, nobody, even Canada has a right, they have a right wing, and they wouldn't even be close to voting for Donald Trump. They think that we are like literally fascist, disgusting people, which really makes them pussies.
The American right wing is the only real global right wing.
And you know what's weird about that? Because Canada is kind of liberal. Here's what's good, because my boomer dad was talking about Donald Trump. Let me live, bro. Let me live. Don't shoot me, right? Don't date me. But anyway, look, my dad was having this conversation yesterday when he was talking about, man, they made the Tea Party to take down the only black man because they was trying to take down Obama. I'm like, yo, Tea Party happened before Obama. He's like, but don't worry about that. He's like, yeah, and we so weak that they voted in Donald Trump and he will. I said, hold on. Everybody loved Donald Trump until Obama roasted him at the presidential dinner, right? Everybody loved Donald Trump. He was in all the hip hop videos. He was at all the boxing matches. He was on Home Alone. Loved him. Obama did 2 hot speeches. He was a first-term senator. Before that, he was a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Like he had no history, no agenda.
Lawyer.
So y'all running around talking about, man, boo the black man, but there's no other. Obama had, and he didn't finish his whole term. That's how Blagojevich got in the feds because he tried to sell a seat that Obama had to give up. So you only did 2 years out your 4-year term. You did a half a job, and then you got elected to the highest place in the world. You know why? Because he speaks so well. Because if you speak well, if you're articulate, that means you're intelligent, right? So he speaks so well. So you made him a president, and nobody said anything about a man with only 2 years of job experience, right? And that never voted on any bill. There's no record of Obama taking any stance in the Illinois Senate on a vote.
Well, that's the Chicago way, baby.
But nationally he got voted, right? But then you mad at Trump because Trump got elected without 2 years of prior experience. It's crazy how the media makes everybody good for you the bad guy. I mean, that's biblical though, because y'all be like, oh, I love God, and God sent famine and locusts. Devil ain't do nothing but be a dirty Mac like yo Eve. You know Adam ain't shit. Yo Job wife, your man ain't shit. Yo Jezebel, Jezebel, your man ain't shit. Like that's all he did. The whole date was dirty Mac. He ain't kill nobody. He ain't do nothing. But he the liar, right? God. Locusts, famines, floods. Oh, I love God. Y'all crazy. Like niggas say y'all anything. So y'all
you really a Mason, Dirty.
Hey, nigga, I told you I'm in every gang, bro. Look, so y'all in this motherfucker, man, looking at
me too, Dirty.
Y'all looking at everything from a globalist point of view, like a colorist point of view instead of a man point of view. All men want the same. Here's the thing I say about Western men. This is what I say about Western men.
I mean, what part of
Western men are pretty much intelligent.
Bang them all around the world.
Western men are pretty much intelligent people until you add a girl. Then they get real dumb. The simp is crazy, right? They be at class SSS mage, and then you bring a girl in, and they're like, oh my God, I gotta leave the guild. Like, and this is where we're at. We've simped ourselves into the epitome of the 19th Amendment.
Yep.
Right? Just simped our way all the way through.
What's the
So
19th Amendment?
are you trying to say that westernized men is nothing but a bunch of concuserves only here for the benefit of said benefit the society of
Well,
women?
I've been explaining this for a couple of weeks now because I've been just thinking my way through different ideas at different times, and the government essentially functions to keep women living single and apart from men. Most of the laws that come through from a social dynamic are done with, you know, at the very least, they don't upset that if it doesn't help that outright in some way. So when you
that's
have
cool with
like
me. Hey,
your
like Jay Z
women's
said,
rights, your literally
like Jay
life
Z
better
said in
act,
that
all that
song,
stuff.
and like Jay Z said in that song, that's cool with me. I mean, feminism freed
No,
me. I mean,
no. It didn't free you because you're socially and financially liable. So women are free, but men are always on the hook. That's kind of the trick of it all.
that sounds like a y'all problem. I mean, I can't do just a bare minimum, and I just
No, that's not. Here's the thing. Even
it's
if you do
not
the bare
a
minimum,
y'all problem. It's a group problem. So an individual may find his way through it, but groups are going to suffer because that's just the way it works.
not only that, but you didn't get out of it. Here's the problem with that, right? They say, man, if you get married, you're gonna get it's a 50% chance you're gonna get divorced, right?
Yep.
Alimony.
Yep.
So dudes say, yo, I ain't getting married no more, but I just live with the chick. Boom, palimony. All right, cool. I ain't even gonna let us live with me, bro. But I do wanna have a kid my own. Right, that was come next, right? I don't even want to live with her, but I want to have a kid. Boom, child support. But she own a kid. Child paying for something you don't own is like being a co-signer to a car that somebody else drive, but they don't pay the note, and you paying it to keep your credit right, or you go to jail in a place with no debt or prison. But think about that.
And this is why a while ago, this maybe a year or two ago, SKC and I had this conversation about feminism is actually a class war, because what winds up happening is when you're in the upper classes, you can take the financial hit, and it probably doesn't even consume your affairs as much as it would, because you know you have lawyers to show up to court for you and all that. You got people to handle things for you. But you're a regular guy, you drive a bus, you got a regular job at a factory or something like that, and you've worked your way up into the middle class, you got a home, got a nice car, maybe your wife and you both have a car and all that, you have assets now. And then for her to want to just split that in half or whatever the legal split is, it's devastating for a lot of guys, and it's like life consuming. You know what I mean? So now instead of the whole group, wait a minute, that's not even a killer. Now instead of the whole group as a family maintaining an upward trajectory, you've just obliterated all of that trajectory. And so now the kids are now the children of a single mom and a broken home, and all that comes with that.
Oh, well.
The father's life is thrown into chaos. He may or may not ever recover. Some guys do, a lot of guys don't. And this is what I mean about it's class war on the lower classes. This is why it's harder for the upper class to it's harder for the lower classes to kind of rise up, because a lot of the basic things about the male-female dynamic are now just the very thing that ruin your life.
And on top of that, even if you don't have kids or don't have a wife, your taxes have to pay for it. That link card comes from somewhere. That Section 8 money comes from somewhere. That public school money comes from somewhere. So even if you don't have a kid, if you don't have a kid or a woman, you're paying for women and kids that you don't even get to sleep with, which is like divorce without being married.
So what's the solution? Make sure that they all with the women working to pay their taxes.
Y'all really missing
the solution is way bigger than this conversation. But I'm just saying that's the problem.
All right, so
I'm not the guy that can wave a magic wand and make the solution happen, but I can understand the problem.
I mean, we can't wave magical ARs to the national capital, and but you know that'd be a different task at hand. But a lot of
those aren't magical, bro.
Those they not magical. They real ARs.
Yeah, those ain't magical, bro. Anyway, bro. Speaking of magic, man, we gonna wrap this one up. It's been wonderful. But we running into 3 hours. I feel like that's a great time to save this conversation, man. It only gets worse after the 3 hour mark. I've learned this lesson. Everything after 3 hours, especially on Black YouTube.
Test it out, man. Things man days, man. Let's go to the 4 hour, man. Might break the.
I've done it before. I know it gets crazy. Now I gotta go.
Hood said black love is magical, but the ARs are real. That's crazy.
That's a fact, bro. That's a bar.
That is a bar.
You know me, I'm power over romance, man. Romance is for chicks, bro. That's for girls who learn how to read. You can give them romance. I need real things.
I saw something real quick. Real quick, I'm gonna say this, bro. Somebody sent me a clip, and they said, "Man, romance to a woman is infidelity." And then somebody, and I was like,
I saw that same clip.
You saw that clip?
Think about every romance novel, all the romantic movies girls like. Especially like the big ones, they're always about some girl cheating on her husband with some new guy.
Yep. Hey, before you go, now look, shout out to SKC. See, look, the way I feel it, I don't care. See, look, majority of the lower class is some other N-word folks that I was talking about earlier, and like SKC with his little segue, I'd rather betray the community before they betray me, and I mean that ish. I walk with that ish. I feel that ish in my heart. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? We done right there, man. Y'all have a great night.
Aspiring to be patriarchs like what white men have, that isn't freedom. That isn't going to help anybody. It's certainly not going to help black people.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.